So I've been doing this for 3 weeks. At the end of week 3, I have listed over 300 books, and I am negative $703 right now in my first 3 weeks selling on Amazon. What's going on, everyone? My name is Matthew Osborn, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my results from my first 90 days selling on Amazon. I'm going to share with you all the expenses, the investments, the time spent revenue, and most importantly, the profit, if there even wasn't a profit. Now, this 90-day period was not when I started my Amazon account. I actually started my Amazon account about 2 years prior, but I was extremely inconsistent. So this is the first 90-day period that I was extremely consistent and actually went out with a plan. So this is a more realistic example if you're trying to start an Amazon business right now and you're going to be consistent for 90 days. During this first 90 days, I decided to sell used books, and I dubbed it the 100 book challenge, since my goal was to find and list 100 used books on Amazon every week for 90 days. I chose books because they're cheap and easy to find at libraries, garage sales, thrift stores, etc. And they have a good profit margin on Amazon compared to most products. You can buy them low and you can sell them higher. If I were to sell shoes, for example, I might be able to pick up a pair of Nikes for $30 and sell it for $50. But with books, you can easily find a book for $1 that'll sell for $35 on Amazon. Used books are also great because you don't need to be a book expert to do well at this. You just need an app like ScoutIQ that can scan the barcodes in the back of the book, and it'll tell you if it's profitable or not. The investment is less, the margins are higher, which is why books are a great entry point for anyone wanting to start selling on Amazon. Before I started the 90-day challenge, I wanted a more realistic picture of what I could expect if I were to remain consistent for the 90 days. I sat down with my business partner, Caleb Roth, who'd been selling on Amazon way longer than I had, and we put together some basic numbers that seem to be averages across all booksellers on Amazon. We threw it into a spreadsheet where we could adjust the numbers and see what was possible based on listing different amount of books each week. All right, so this is that spreadsheet we made. Let's put in a lower number at first to see kind of what's possible and what happens. So let's do 25 books a week. What happens if you did this for 25 books a week for a year? If you did this consistently every week, listed 25 books to Amazon, roughly profit for year 1 would be about $7,200, and then your revenue for that first year would be $18,000, and it gets up higher in years 2 and 3 because the more books you send into Amazon, eventually you catch up to what you're listing. So you're going to be listing 25 books a week and selling 25 books a week. And that doesn't happen until about year 2. So year 2 would be $11,000 profit and $25,000 in revenue. Let's check out what happens if I change this to 100, since I'm talking about my 100 book challenge, which is what I did. And this would give you an estimated profit in year 1 of $29,000 and revenue of $73,000, and then it jumps up to $45,000 profit year 2 and $102,000 in sales. Again, this is if you were consistent and listed 100 books every week with an average sale price of $20, and this is your average buy cost, what you could expect in revenue and profit. So let's see where I land on the first 12 weeks doing this challenge. Okay, so now I'm going to compare my results to the projections we got from the spreadsheet to see how accurate these projections actually were. I'm going to walk through weeks 1 through 4 and then just show you month 2 and 3 results. You don't have to listen to me talk about each individual of the 12 weeks. All right, so first up is week 1. So in the first week, I visited 11 different locations. I did not track time very well the very first week. I decided to start doing that after this point. So time was not tracked, but at 11 different locations, 7,062 scans. I found and I purchased 103 books, so I just hit a little over that 100 book goal. My total list price for all these 103 books was $2,500. My estimated profit was $1,271, and my expenses were $247 to buy that 103 books, or buy those 103 books. Sales is 0 because for the very first week, I was purchasing books. At the end of the week, I sent these books off to Amazon, so they hadn't even reached Amazon at this point to have the opportunity to sell. So sales were 0. So for week 1, I was negative $247. Going into week 2, I went to 7 locations. I spent 14 hours of time, so a little less in locations on week 2. I did 7,900 scans, so a few more scans. I found 101 books. Total list price for those books was $2,205. And then estimated profit was $1,087. Expenses for this week was $171 to purchase those 101 books. Sales are still 0 at this point, so total is negative $418 for the 2 weeks combined up to this point. All right, so going into week 3, for some reason this week I did not track how many sources I went to, but I spent 7 hours of time, so I know it was less than the previous weeks in time spent by quite a bit. I only did 3,800 scans this week, so significantly less than I did in weeks 1 and 2, and I still found 114 books. And there's a special reason why this is the case, why I scanned a whole lot less and got a whole lot more. And you can find more. You can find out more about that in this video up here. I go into more detail. I'm not going to go into detail on it right here. But if you're curious how to optimize your time going out and finding these type of books, check out the video. I'll link to it in the description below, so you can watch it after this video. So week 3, 3,800 scans, 114 books I found. Total list price was $2,659. Estimated profit was $1,270. Total expenses for this specific week was $285. Still 0 in sales. These books took a while to get to Amazon from week 1. So total up to this point in week 3, I am negative $703. All right, now time for week 4. I spent 6 hours of time this week, so a lot less than I did the first 2 weeks, and even less than I did in the 3rd week. I did 3,100 scans. I found 123 books. Estimated profit for these books was $2,126. That was how much I listed them for, was $2,126. Estimated profit was $881, so less than the first 3 weeks. Total expenses for this week 4 was $193. And sales actually started to come through this week. So in this week, my sales reached $666. So total expenses up to this point was $896, minus the profit I got of the sales for $266. So basically of that $666 in sales, $266 of that was profit. So total cash flow at week 4 is $629. So it's now moving back down in the right direction. Now we're going to jump forward to the end of month 2. It's roughly like 8 weeks, a little over 8 weeks into this. My sales are now at $3,400. Total expenses are $1,792. Total profit, though, is $1,870. So I'm cash flow positive $79 by the end of month 2. So again, this is listing 100 books a week for over 8 weeks now, and I've just now started to become cash flow positive, where I'm now funding future books with the sales that are already happening. So I'm no longer taking this out of my wallet each week to buy more inventory. My sales are covering that cost, so I can reinvest it back into the business. End of month 3, so at the end of this 90-day challenge, my sales were $8,057. Now I'd planned to do $10,000 in sales. That's what I'd estimated would happen based off the projections in that spreadsheet. So I fell shy of that, $8,057 at the end of the 90 days when I was hoping to get to $10,000 in the first 90 days. The cool thing was, though, is that I got the $10,000 in sales at about a week and a half after this, because all these books going into Amazon are still sitting there and they're still selling every single week. So even though I stopped this challenge at the 90-day mark, these books from this period continued to sell for about the next year. So sales still kept coming in. So that's why, even though at the end of the 90 days I was $8,000 in sales, a week and a half after I was over $10,000 in sales. So I was just a little bit off in the estimations that we guessed in that spreadsheet. Total expenses for the whole 90 days was $2,688, and then total profit for this period was $4,028, and that leaves a positive cash flow of $1,340. Now again, there's books, all these books are still going to keep selling for about the next year. Only about half the books I'd listed had actually sold by this point, and the rest are going to still sell over the next year or so. So that is an honest look at my results, listing 100 used books a week on Amazon for 90 days. At the end of the challenge, my average total time spent was about 11 hours a week. These numbers might not be life-changing, but I hope that they are able to show you that if you remain consistent and put in the work, you can see results. If you want to learn more about how to sell books on Amazon, check out the100bookchallenge.com. As always, please like, comment, and subscribe if you found this video helpful, and I'll see you guys next time.